Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video from The Sports Scoop. If you have been recently looking at the waiver wires, there's literally nothing there. I mean, there is not a lot there as fantasy playoffs continue. Yes, my mic is messed up. My original stand, I usually use this, is currently broken. So today, as I said, fantasy waiver wire ads for week 15, giving you guys the advice you need to make the playoffs. And you can trust me because I've made the playoffs. I won in the first round. So you can trust me. I do some good fantasy stuff. Let's get into waiver wire ads for week 15. Make sure to like and subscribe and watch full video so you can, get all the players you need to add to your roster. Player number 1, and finally I get to say this, T.Y. Hilton, someone who I'm pretty sure was probably drafted decently highly, 3rd, 4th round in your fantasy drafts. And finally, he's looking like a viable fantasy starter, and I am so happy to say that T.Y. Hilton, a very good receiver, one of the best to ever play on the Colts. And here's why. He has 3 weeks with touchdowns in the game, and last week he had 2. Getting a lot more inclusion in this Colts offense. Obviously, Phillip Rivers, that quarterback change, a big one from Brissett to Rivers, a veteran quarterback who comes in, brings some methods that T.Y. Hilton may not have fit. I think that's something we definitely saw going into this season. But T.Y. Hilton has not been good. I think he basically has all of his touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. He just hasn't been looking like an amazing receiver. But now I think Rivers is getting more comfortable with him. He's starting to throw the ball to him, and rightly so. T.Y. Hilton creates separation. He's very, very underrated in the way he runs routes and how fast he is. Just a very incredible player. I think people forgot about T.Y. Hilton. I think secondaries did. And, I mean, that's their fault because T.Y. Hilton is lethal. Once he gets into the second level, he's incredibly fast and can just bust secondaries and get by corners. Pick up T.Y. Hilton. I think he's a wide receiver, too, which is crazy this deep into the season. But I think he's a wide receiver, too, and a flex option, depending on how many people are in your league. The crazy part is that he's not owned in a lot of leagues. So go get him. Lynn Bowden, the running back from the Miami Dolphins, someone who I think has been a bit questioned, definitely just because of how many running backs and the running back situation in Miami is crazy with Tua there. He can run with the ball, but obviously Gaskin is out, and I think Bowden, fair enough, is a bit risky of a pickup. I think all these pickups now, going this late into the season, are risky pickups. There's not much you can really do about that. He saw a massive increase in the Dolphins' offense, notably last week against the Chiefs. Got 15.4 points, I believe, in PPR leagues. And with running back injuries, notably Gaskin, Ahmed, Rita in Miami, he's just going to get a lot more opportunity, and that's something you have to look out for in fantasy players if you're a diligent fantasy owner. Players are injured. This is their backup. Go pick them up. Someone we've seen, J.D. McKissick, like Mike Davis, Madison, all these backup running backs that have been incredible. And he's speaking of J.D. McKissick, he's that kind of back for this Dolphins team. He is a receiving majority back. I think he had 1 rush for like 10 yards against the Chiefs, but he had 7 receptions for 82. No touchdown yet, but that's still a good amount of points. I think he's a solid flex option in players of 10 or more people in your league. 8 or less, there's not much, I think, value for him. I'm assuming people on your roster is easier to start as a flex, but if injuries or something terrible has happened, McCaffrey's probably out again. I think Lynn Bowden's a good option. Chad Hansen. Yes, I don't know who that is either. I don't. I'll be honest here. I'm not a football expert. I don't know everyone, and I don't know who Chad Hansen is. To me, he's just another, receiver that probably came from the practice squad, but has quietly had 2 amazing weeks for this Texans team. As you guys know, Cooks was out last week against the Bears, and as well Fuller is out for the rest of the year, and that's big. Desean Watson's an elite quarterback, so any receiver that's playing with him, if you have some type of skill, you can have high production, which Hansen has taken advantage of. So just with those main receivers out, I think they've been trying various wide receivers. Kiki QT we've had as a pickup a couple weeks ago. He's again now he's had 2 very consistent weeks. And a lot of fantasy apps, obviously those are the apps you guys are playing this game on, have a lot of them, ESPN, the main app I think people use, are having Chad Hansen as a solid wide receiver pickup, and I'm just relaying that information to you guys. He's played 2 games and is averaging 6 receptions. He had 5 and 7 in his last 2. and about 75 yards. He had 100 yards in his first game. I didn't notice that, which was, I was looking at his stats and, incredible. I think that's, as someone who's on the waiver wires, who's very, someone who's no one's looking at, definitely go pick him up. And that's why I think he's great. I don't think there's a lot of people who are going to be picking him up. He has 12 points in his last, or over 12 points in his last 2 games. And surprisingly, as I said, he gets a lot of receptions, which, doesn't happen for a lot of waiver wire players. So yeah, Chad Hansen, go pick him up. I think he's a solid flex option. Wide receiver 2 if you need, but I wouldn't stretch that much. I think he's kind of like Lynn Bowden, a bit of a risk. KJ Hamler, finally, again, like T.Y. Hilton, one of those rookie receivers, and has emerged as a Henry Ruggs type player. Absolutely speed first player. I think he's been a waiver wire ad, I would say, for the past 2 weeks. I would say 2 weeks ago, it's like this is it if you have to pick up. Last week, it's like, I think he's solid. And now this week, I think it's you pick him up. He's a really good receiver. Emerging as that wide receiver 2, obviously with the injuries for the Broncos receivers, Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, who's been playing okay, not amazing. Some players have had to step up, KJ Hamler being one of them last game, and he has just big play potential to get massive yardage gains. He had 2 receptions and 2 touchdowns, so he had a reception on both of his catches last game, I believe 83 or 86 yards. The only problem with him is he has obviously a bad floor due to he doesn't get a lot of catches. He had 2 last game, so if he gets 2 catches but doesn't get a touchdown, or gets 2 catches and gets like 10 yards, or if he's playing against a good corner and can't get space, then he's a bit of a reach. But I still think he's very good. I think it's still a good flex option. And with Drew Lock not being the worst quarterback in the league, he has high chance of getting production. Someone who I have been looking at for a while, Gabriel Davis, the rookie, I believe. Yeah, he's a rookie on the Bills, wide receiver, massive wide receiver. He's like 6'5", 6'6". He's huge, built like a tight end. So he can catch the ball over DBs, and he's a red zone threat. I think that's what we've seen, or at least what I've seen from the Bills. They use him a lot in the red zone, kind of short, get in the end zone passes. And with John Brown out, their main, I would guess, deep threat receiver, which I guess Gabriel Davis isn't as much, but still fills that role, and it's a good complement on the other side of Diggs, while Beasley plays in more of like slot. He has 3 touchdowns in the last 3 games, which is incredible. So he has a touchdown in each game. Something I didn't notice, I guess, but he gets those, off the radar touchdowns, like you don't really notice them. So if you're a Bills fan, I think you're loving Gabriel Davis. I think he has a lot of potential. It's not a receiver people have really been talking about, a rookie receiver at least. Gabriel Davis, I think he's a great option. Go pick him up in your leagues. I think he's a solid flex option. Moving into our last one, tight end. I don't know if we've ever talked about tight ends in one of our waiver wire videos. Obviously, we've done quarterbacks and then receivers and running backs, but not a lot of tight ends. I think we did a defense once. Irv Smith, the Vikings tight end. Someone who has a high potential and a high ceiling, who I would say if you're Vikings, you're definitely happy that, he's there and is a backup to Rudolph. And Rudolph being injured, Irv Smith has seen an increase in catches, in targets. With Justin Jefferson there, I guess it takes away some of that. But with Rudolph getting old, I believe he's 30, might be mid or early 30s. But Irv Smith is that future tight end, and I guess that doesn't matter as much now in terms of waiver wire. But I think he's someone you got to look at. I think if you don't have a tight end and there's just nothing going for you, pick up Irv Smith. I think he's a good option as a tight end, big player who can get touchdowns. I don't see why not. Definitely go pick up Irv Smith if you have a spot there for maybe a second tight end, or if you don't have a tight end and all of the good ones are gone, I would definitely go pick him up just because there's not a lot of good tight ends on the waiver wires. As first of all, Kelsey and Waller are the only good ones, and then there's just a massive drop off in terms of production. Irv Smith, maybe he could shock you, so go pick him up. That was it for our fantasy waiver wire ads for week 15. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy and you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe. It really, helps us out so much. And definitely go comment down below. What do you got? Any fantasy advice you need, literally anything, waiver wire, sit, start, anything. Should I do this trade? Comment down below. We respond to all comments, as we say every single video. We will try and get more videos with all of us together. We definitely have been split up, something I've noticed. We should definitely get more videos together. So if you guys are missing that, don't worry. We got some coming soon, a game show coming soon. And as well, follow our socials. They're linked down below, our Instagram, our podcast, as well as our TikTok. Our TikTok we're not posting as much on anymore, but our Instagram we post like 4 times a day. I'm having way too much fun making Instagram posts. We have a lot of new templates and we update you as well on, things we can't really post videos about, like player injuries, trade. Well, there's not many trades, but NFL related things. Go follow us over there, _sports_scoop. Subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video. Good luck in fantasy this week. Comment down below if you won your playoff game, and let us know if you helped. Peace out.